It's that little gay talk show with Joel Tatum and Charlotte Shotguns. Houston's hot mess of a podcast. A funny but thoughtful look at the LGBTQIA plus community.
Hey! It's that little gay talk show. Did y'all like that? So you know what, Charlotte? I'm not hearing you again. Let me try it again.
Hello.
Okay, there you go.
I wonder what it is.
I might have to go in and do some adjustments, but
yeah,
so that at a lower level you still sound like you're supposed to sound.
Yeah, because it was pretty high too earlier. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think we're good now.
Yeah, we're good now. What's going on with you, girl? You know what? We don't have to do all the. Everything's done in the intro.
Yeah, everything is done in
the
intro.
So we have to. We don't have to worry about. You know what? We don't have to worry about. We don't have to worry about the intro, and we don't have to worry about doing the sponsor thing. Although we love Tubi's Wood. Although we love Tubi's Wood.
Tubi gives you wood.
Yes. Although we love him, now we can. In case we forget, it's at the end. So.
It is at the end.
Yes, it's at the end. So
we won't get an angry email from.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, how come I'm not? How come you guys?
The one episode he listens to is like, why didn't you guys say my name?
Yeah, exactly. It'll be the one episode, and it'll be like, you know what? We did it on 9.
What episode number are we on?
Huh?
What episode are we?
We are on episode.
Can we just start season
36.
36.
36
oh, wow.
or 37. Mm-hmm.
I've been for like half, right?
Yeah, you've been here for like half. You came in and was it August?
Yes. No, September. I moved here in June.
Mm-hmm.
June.
And you did your.
I think maybe June, July, maybe August. Yeah.
August. Yeah, it was August. August is when you did your first interview, and then I asked you to come back one more time.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, bitch, just come back and do the show. I need a co-host. Just do the show.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's been great ever since.
I know. We've had a great time ever since, and we have we have some stuff coming up.
We do have some stuff coming up.
We have some stuff coming up, so this is going to be really exciting. I'm super stoked, and all I've done all day is run around and get stuff ready and all this other stuff. So I got the poster board. I got the.
Oh wow!
I got the consent forms. I got everything.
Oh, yeah, I saw that. Yeah, the consent form. Did you already get the poster, or did you?
No,
just send it in?
no, I just sent it in.
That's good enough.
So it should be ready by tomorrow, Friday.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm. So I did all that stuff. We have everything ready. He's already posted the flyers online, kind of. So it's. Oh my God, I'm so excited! It's
a new thing.
Yeah, it's a new thing. It's so surreal. I was talking with our guest here, which we'll introduce in just a moment. I was talking with our guest here because he got here early. He believes in being here on time.
I do, yeah.
I'm a drag queen.
Yes. My co-host.
I'm always like doing something to it.
But my co-host. Now, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something about Charlotte. Charlotte has 19 different enterprises going on. Every time I turn around, I'm like, Charlotte, what you doing? Oh, well, I'm doing this project, and I got this stuff, and I had to fill all these orders for the underwear, and then I have to get ready for this show, and then I'm making this dress for such and such, and then I'm like, girl.
And then I'm learning how to speak French.
You know what I did today? I woke up.
And today was pretty eventful. Today my roommate asked me to take him to because he got his first COVID shop. And then I went there. Then I went fabric shopping. And then before I went fabric shopping, I had to do some other things. And I bought vinyl. Then I went to my friend's house, dropped off everything. Then I went to work. Then when I was at work, I printed out a bunch of new patterns for underwear. Then after work, I came here. So it's like nonstop.
And who, by the way, who was the model that I saw
With the butt?
with the butt? Because that's a butt.
Yeah, I tagged him on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, his name is Ryan.
All right. Oh, I thought it might have been Fernando. That would have been
cool.
I would love to participate.
Yeah.
Oh, well, we can
make that happen. I'm making some new stuff. I'm making shorts, and I'm making boxer briefs. Because those have been really requested. I'm like, might as well learn the pattern.
See, she's busy all the time. See, audience, she's busy every time I turn around. She always has some new project going on. Well, our guest today he's just a wonderful artist from Houston. He's also from Honduras.
Oh, cool.
Which is amazing because we were talking earlier, and when he told me he was from Honduras, he says, "Well, where did you think I was from?" And I'm like, Well, you kind of carry yourself like you're from Spain, because he kind of has that look. And let me tell y'all something. He is a good looking man. He is a good looking man. He just sitting over there smiling, but he is a good looking man, and he knows it. I watched your little video. You know it.
Okay. That's good. Thank you. Thank you guys for having me in your show. This is a really amazing experience for me. Yeah, like we were talking earlier, we got more comfortable and getting to know each other before we go live.
Yeah, exactly.
That's always good. We always like to do that. Like just hang out for like a quick second. And
Yeah, exactly.
Feel
Just
each other out.
just kind of, like I was telling him, we don't want to talk too much because we want to save it for the
Absolutely.
show.
Yeah, that's true.
What did RuPaul say? If the cameras aren't rolling, we not talking, or something like that. She said something like that.
Yeah, they have like silent lunch.
Yeah, exactly.
The drag queens have silent lunch.
That isn't that weird though?
That is
I mean,
weird.
that is so weird. You're cooped up in a situation with 10 to 12 other people.
Well, I think now they're cooped up. They can hang out and stuff, but I think before everybody was in their own room.
Yeah, everybody was in their own rooms, and I think COVID might have changed how they.
That's good. They're probably going to leave it like that.
I think so. I think COVID changed how they did stuff. So now I think they get to hang out and all this. I mean, some of the queens have been coming through Houston.
Oh yeah,
At
most of
Rebar.
them.
Yeah, so
They had Candy.
they had Candy Muse.
Olivia Lux is going to be here.
Olivia Lux is going to be here.
Olivia. Elliot was just here.
Elliot with
Tamisha
two
was
T's.
supposed to be here, but I think she bailed.
Mm-hmm.
There was another person. I don't remember. Denali, I think, was here. No, Rose.
Rose,
was
yes.
the first one here.
Yes, Rose was the first one here. So Houston's been getting some drag queen action going on here.
Yeah, right?
Plus, they just had Drag Queen Drive-In.
Yeah, I saw that. That was tonight. Yeah,
Which I was so sad to miss that.
Yeah.
But like I said, we have a show next week to put on, so I had to run around and do stuff.
Yeah.
But let's get to Fernando though.
Absolutely.
I won't. Fernando's been sitting over there quiet. Fernando, you have to join the conversation.
I'm waiting for you to start
Okay.
asking questions.
Okay. Well, you can. Fernando, you can. I mean, it's an hour and a half show. You can jump in at any time.
Okay.
You were just quoting RuPaul earlier. You had a chance. You had that opportunity to just jump right on in there.
I can. It's a little intimidating the first time you do the podcast, but we'll start with question one. So what sort of medium do you do for art?
I do oil on canvas.
Oh, cool.
And I started studying surrealism, but later through the years and my life experience, I started changing what it was surrealism to more like my own feelings through paint, but I wanted to make it more like fun and colorful for the audience. So it jumps into something called more, I kind of forget the name right now because I had a few drinks. Anyway, it will come back in a little bit.
Yeah.
How many drinks did you have before you got here?
2 glasses full of wine.
Oh, you're fine.
I saw, so I did a little bit of studying, and I wanted to become an art professor when I was younger, 5 years ago, and I tried doing oil, and oil is one of the hardest mediums, because it's just the waiting for it to dry, making all the colors and stuff like that. How do you do it? What's your process? Because I know everybody's process with oil is completely different.
Well, the thing about the oil is you can retouch every other day and every other hour. You can stop and come back with the work. Maybe you can change it too. But if you play with acrylic, it will dry really fast, less than a second. So when you first start studying art, I think they teach you with masterpieces and what the big artists back in the days used to do, which is oil, Yeah. Also, it's a very expensive material, so some people really do not spend or want to spend a lot of money in oils. But I think it's a very good thing to do. Start with oil, so because you change your mind all the time. You never know what the painting's gonna go or how you're gonna feel at the moment.
It's like a project. You can't do it in one sitting.
It takes a while to dry, but you got to also make sure what you're doing, because if you mix more than 3 colors, that is not right on the palette, your color's gonna start ended up looking messy, like dirt, and you don't want that. You want that colors looks neat. and like magic.
Mm-hmm.
Magic.
Magic.
Let's delve into the artist journey. You started your first. I'm gonna say painting or picture. The first thing that you drew. Why don't you talk about the first thing that you ever drew?
First time I ever drew. It's funny because I was doing an assignment in school and I did Mickey Mouse. But later on, when I was going home, I didn't have a lot of friends, but I started drawing my mom. Mm-hmm. And I remember even telling my mom when I was a kid, like, don't move. I'm going to do a drawing of you. Mm-hmm. And it's funny because when you go to art school, that's the first thing that they teach you. Do you have the model there who doesn't move? Mm-hmm. And then so you can choose a perspective where to start drawing. So I used to do a lot of drawings for my mom, and I remember having a wall full of drawings just for her. Mm-hmm. And it's sad that we didn't have a camera back in the days in my house. Mm-hmm. We were not like really wealthy or anything mm-hmm. like that. But it would be amazing if someone smart in my family could take pictures and just so I can see later what I did. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really sad. Like some people don't have the willing to record what your kid is doing mm-hmm. because later on in life you turn into a different person. You would like to have like something
to reflect on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What was like? Do you only do oil, or have you ever worked in any other things like charcoal or?
I like to do drawings on charcoal because it's faster and I can change it too. But usually I do never do sketches a lot like other kind of artists. Yeah. I go straight to the canvas. Like I wake up and I have this idea and this vision and I have to go and do it. And if I don't do it, I'm not happy. And I'm comfortable the entire damn day. Mm-hmm. And I just like to go straight forward for the idea that I had. Yeah. Like one day I was having breakfast and I was thinking about my house back home and then Mickey Mouse, and I'm like, I'm going to do a house where I grew up, mm-hmm. and then there was this little tiny rock where we all used to sit mm-hmm. and chit-chat with the neighbors. You know, like in these Latin countries, all the neighbors sit in the corner and start talking mm-hmm. and gossip about each other. Mm-hmm. So I did this painting of my house back home, and Mickey Mouse representing mm-hmm. my childhood, and the rock, which has a lot of meaning for me. So luckily that painting has been picked up for a gallery here in Houston. So it's gonna be exhibit this Saturday, mm-hmm. March 6th, from 3 to 6 p.m. Mm-hmm. I'm gonna keep saying like 604 West Alabama Street.
Yeah, you say it throughout the show. Yeah, just say it so
plug
people.
Yourself in.
Yeah, plug yourself.
People can know what's going on. Right.
As hard as you possibly can, because that's exactly what you need to do.
Does Mickey Mouse have any like representation, or is that just something?
This is for my childhood, and I really love Mickey, like growing up watching, and it's very iconic thing too. Iconic. So I think every artist has been painting Mickey Mouse because it has some kind of like influences. Who didn't grow up like watching Mickey Mouse? You know what I mean?
Or any sort of Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I wasn't a Disney person when I was a kid. I was Bugs Bunny and all that other stuff. I wasn't really much of a Disney person.
We were too poor in my household to have Disney Channel.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there was no such thing as a Disney Channel, yeah, exactly.
I listened to like the Disney radio, like the 1600
mm-hmm.
on AM radio.
Oh well, back in the ancient times. I grew up on mostly Bugs Bunny stuff, and I think the only Disney movies at the time that I didn't really care for a lot of animated movies. I don't know why. I was never into Disney animated movies, but I was. I think the only Disney movie I really, 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 really loved. You know what? I can't think of it right now.
I know everything. Like when you're like talking, like everything goes away from you.
Yeah,
exactly.
In your head.
What is it?
Really
is it
sad.
Princess?
No. It's
Fantasia?
live. No, it's live action.
Oh,
Mary Poppins.
Oh,
there
Mary
you go.
Poppins.
Yes,
okay.
love Mary Poppins. Love.
Okay.
Love me some Mary. Yeah. Love. I know all the songs.
That's pretty cool. That's badass. It's a little
Yes.
surreal at some point, right?
Yeah, exactly.
It's really great.
Yeah. So I that and I think there was another one, Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. Okay. I like the live action stuff. I didn't really care for the.
I was the opposite. I love the cartoons.
I didn't really care for the cartoon stuff.
I remember my grandma had the Mary Poppins movie, and I never watched it because I was like, I want to see cartoons.
Mm-hmm. So Fernando, now we talked I think we need to talk to baby Fernando here. We need to talk to the exact absolute first memory, first drawing that you ever did that was besides, did you draw anything before that, before Mickey Mouse? Or was Mickey Mouse your absolute first thing that you started drawing?
I was doing landscapes, though.
Oh, okay. You were doing landscapes. How old were you when you were?
I think I was like 8.
8?
8 when I started drawing. Actually, there's one of my uncles. He is a painter, too. But he quit. Because in these Latin countries, for some reason, in some Latin countries, not many countries, people kind of quit. In their dreams, you know. I mean, growing up in where I grew up, I felt like I didn't. It's sad to say it, but I felt like I didn't fit really well with the people. I love that culture because that's why it makes me like an open-minded kind of person. Really like crazy cool kind of guy. I think. Moving to America, I see a lot of conservative things going on too, especially here in Houston. But that's why I think I keep reaching out for people like you guys who has open doors for people like us.
Absolutely.
And a platform where to talk and other people that I can hang out with you. I run into you at the club and then we hang out and we have a good time. It's good to keep yourself into that kind of people who brings the same soul that you have, that rebel heart, you know.
Let's talk about when you... let's delve into the fact that as sexuality and your art. About what time at what time in your life did you know that you were different from the other kids?
Ooh. Okay. Jesus Christ! Okay. I mean, I think if I start talking, I'll make sure that some people that I know don't hear this.
Okay. Please remember that some of us are a little sensitive. We don't want to hear no kids doing kid stuff.
Yeah,
but being a little curious. But what
this is crazy. This is like hardcore true story. Like I was playing with one of my neighbors, like cars in the back of the house. And they were, I don't know, we're playing cars. Like we have like the little gas station, the house, and I'm not gonna say names in respect of this person because probably we'll be hearing because I've been posting on Instagram stuff for people to see what we're doing, what am I doing as an artist. But when we get closer, ended up like we put our faces together and we start kissing. And then after that, we went to the bathroom in the back of my house because the bathroom was outside in the patio. It's an old house. And then we got inside and we started making out. I do not remember if I was sucking the guy's dick, to be honest, or if he was something to do. But I feel like if I don't make a mistake, I do remember we were touching each other and kissing until my cousin came out and started yelling like, "Who's there?" And and ended up my cousin is gay too, and he lives here in Houston.
So, at what age was that? Do you
I think he was around 7. 7 years, and I have more dark stuff that I remember growing up, but I think I'm gonna hold those because I don't want to go to jail. But I mean, I think. Oh,
good Lord! How dark are we talking?
I have very dark histories, but I think I've been reflecting that in some of my work too. Like if I see it and I describe some of the new paintings or old paintings that I was doing. Because that brought a lot of traumas and problems in my life once I take away from my family. And I moved to America. I started jumping into depression and even dating people here in the gay community. It got into a lot of trouble because people, I don't know if they were jealous or something or gossip a lot. They thought I was cheating or doing something behind their back. But no, I was always trying to be honest with them and telling them what I like. But for some reason, every time I'm dating someone, it feels like they're taking my time away from what I should be focusing. So I was really depressed and I was hiding into the clown concept that I created 3 years ago.
Okay. So Fernando Videa has a dark side, yo.
Yeah, very. Maybe when I became famous,
you should not have said that to me.
Maybe when I became famous, and my family passed away, I will put that on a book, and everybody will know,
you know
that.
what? I
This is
think-
really crazy.
I think, honestly, to be quite honest, and I don't want to get too serious here, but there's some dark trauma in my past as well, and I try to find creative outlets to deal with that, because that was some pretty dark trauma, and it's some of the things that I don't think you'll ever hear me sharing. There's a couple of things that I never will share unless you have a license, and I know we're in confidentiality. So, but
it's really tough.
and I can understand when it comes to dating, especially in the gay community in Houston. Everybody has a dark trauma. Everybody has the one thing that has traumatized us, and I think it's usually how you handle that trauma. I love the fact that you take that trauma and you put it into your art, and that's how you are able to deal with the trauma. I think that's but I think that also when it comes to dating, I think that I agree with you. I have been on this journey to try to do this podcast and everything else, and now I've had men have now approached out of the blue, and it's like, look, I don't mind having some fun, but I have a different focus, and I need to focus on that.
Absolutely,
so it takes away from the.
That's true.
It takes away from the focus, and I think it's a lot harder for a lot of men to understand it. And I think it's a little harder for men my age and older, because they're all looking for husbands. I'm looking for a new adventure.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So, and if a new adventure and maybe involves a husband, I might think about it, but it can't take away from the central thing of what I'm doing right now. So it would have to be someone who understands what I'm doing. So I get what you're.
Yeah, I think everybody has this idea of the beautiful romance and the castles and the unicorns and the rainbows, and but later on, while you're growing, and you kind of run into people who really disappoint you about what gay life can be towards a relationship or being with someone. Also, there's a lot of sacrifice in the relationships. I have very good friends lately that they do carry their relationships. They've been married for 18, 20 years. And they keep their relationship very clean. Some of us, the new generation, it sees like fun. Like, it's not taking it so serious. I got tired of trying to reach out for the good relationship, the good boyfriend who can understand me, who can loves how crazy can I go outside with my smoky eyes, leather boots, whatever. Sometimes I go out to some gay bars almost naked. That's the way I feel at the moment, But some of them, they do not have education and do not respect your art vision and how you feel in your life, or what traumas, like you were saying, like you get trapped in that. But also, it's a good thing, like you clear those negative thoughts and you clear all the traumas that you were having when you were a kid, so you can walk through your new relationship with a better persona and carry yourself better.
Well, let me throw this in here, because I think it's important to know. I understand that a lot of the younger people, they want a traditional marriage. They want to have kids. They want to settle down, and they want to have, I'm not going to say a boring life. I'm not going to say that. To me, it's a boring life. That is to me. And if any man is crazy enough to hook up with me, if he is absolutely crazy enough to hook up with me,
I love his
he has to understand that, I am moody and I'm flighty, and I might get an idea and want to go figure out how to develop that idea and this and that. So I might run off and go do something and not realize that I'm doing it, but it has nothing to do with you. It's all about what I'm trying to do creatively. So it's really kind of hard to find people when you're not, I'm not going to say ordinary, but when you're a little different. Even in the gay community, you're still different. I've always felt different in the gay community. And At first I thought maybe it's because I'm black and blah 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 blah. But even among other black gay men, I'm still different. So it's a little harder for people to latch on to the fact that I'm not. I can have fun with you and be with you, but I want to run off and do stuff, and I want to do that. And if you want to follow along, you can. And if you're understanding enough, you know that I have to do it, and then that's what I have to do because I have to get it out of my system. Yeah. I have to go through the whole process to get it out of my system to see if it works. And I'm trial and error. I'll try something for a little while, and if it doesn't work, then I'll move on to something else. So so I get it. So I think really it boils down to, I have started to have a realization when it comes to the gay community that we generalize each other too much. Yeah. And we all put each other in this one box, and we forget that we're not a monolith. Every gay person is different. And I think that we forget that. And there are those, I have been with men who were, literally said, hey, I want to have a relationship, I want to do this, and I want to do that. And I'm like, I admire you for knowing what you want. Yeah, and that's what you want. But I don't know if that's what I want. So you have to understand that if you're going to do this, let's have some crazy wild sex and see what happens. So that's my thing. So, like I said, even at my advanced age, I still feel the same way because, like I said, either my friends have decided that they're going to be single and miserable, or they're going to be married and miserable because they don't want to be alone. I don't,
right.
Well,
the thing is, some people go outside.
I feel like I manipulated this entire conversation. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. You're totally fine. I'm enjoying what you're saying. Some people go outside expecting or looking for a boyfriend. I think if you find a boyfriend, or if you're looking for someone, what you're gonna get is a headache and a stomachache. Because if you really want to be with someone and you like the person, you have to build the trust, and you have to build the confidence, and you have to build each other's relationship. It's sad that sometimes I run into needy guys, so needy that they take all your time, not just talking about me in general, they take other people's time, and they want you to be there, and sometimes they're very selfish. So once you know how to check those kind of body language on them, or the way they behave, you have to walk away. But yeah, relationship, you don't go out trying to find one, and even if that guy is hot and everything, has muscles, because I dated guys like really big with muscles, big dicks, whatever you want to call it, people go crazy on that. I don't go crazy on that. I mean, it's attractive, but if you don't behave really well inside the house, you're not that person that I want to share my life with you, It has to be a lot of trust and confidence and build together the relationship. And trust is the number one thing, I have to say. They have to know you really well. Because most of the people I break up with, I
like that. Most of the people I break up with,
they don't even know me, to be honest. They don't even know what I'm capable of, Yeah.
But I think, like I said, we put each other in a box, and we expect that when we open that box, we expect what we want from them. Yeah. I'm the least neediest person on the planet. I only need you for half an hour, and then for the rest of the time, I don't need you. So, I'm the direct opposite of needy. But half of the time, when I break up with someone, it's because they're like, well, you're not there all the time. But you're under me constantly. You are constantly under me. You have you're an adult. You have a life. Don't you have friends you want to hang out with? Don't you have hobbies or things you want to do? I mean, I got stuff to do. I don't have, I like you. I don't think I've told anybody. I think in the 51 years of life, I have never told anybody I love them and meant it. I think there might have been, there was one, but that was a long time ago, and that was severe heartbreak. That was a planned a life kind of man. That man you meet and you're like, we're gonna get a house together. We're gonna and we're gonna both go to college together. We're gonna do this together. And
it sounds so beautiful and perfect. Right?
Yeah, at the time when you're 20-something years old, it's beautiful and perfect. It's like your entire life. You've met him. Your entire life is ready. it's a fairy tale come true, and then life has a funny way of smacking the shit out of you and going, nope. Yeah. So I think that was the only time that, and I had planned, like I said, I had planned an entire thing, everything was planned out, and then, that was that. But that was my greatest heartbreak, and something that took me a long time to get over.
And it takes a lot of time also to know yourself really well.
Yeah.
What I want from this life. What I want from myself.
Yeah, exactly.
What is it that I really want to do?
I think it's crazy when you meet people that are that bounce from relationships to relationships. And I'm like, can you not, I'm like, I don't know, I find that weird. I'm like, do you ever take time for yourself?
Yeah, I know. I never understood. I've had friends who literally have said that they would rather be in a terrible relationship than be single.
Oh no, that's not.
And I'm like, that's
fucked up.
That is not.
That's a lot. That sounds like
healthy.
A lot of problems.
How is that healthy?
It's not.
You know what I understand. I'm so sorry for interrupting you.
No, you're good.
But there's people who is in the relationship, but they get tired of each other. But at some point, it's like toxic. That I still love you. I still like you. I still have feelings for you. But I want to go hooked up around other people. So they get into a commitment. I'm very open minded. I understand that. I have friends that do that.
Yeah.
And I never judge, And anyway, so they go around, they have these open relationships in order just to keep having fun, not forgetting that they can still have sex with other human beings, but still having each other in the house. That's kind of cool, right?
That is kind of cool.
But you know what? I'm very old school. You see me all here crazy. But I'm old school, and I feel like I only have love for the person that I want to dedicate time.
Yeah. You know what I feel? I always feel like in those, and once again, not judging, because like I said, I too have friends who have, and they've been together, and these are friends who have been together for a long time.
Me and my partner are open.
Yeah, so the open relationships are fine if you know what you're getting into, and you're good. If you know at the beginning, I hate when people start off with monogamy and then decide to become open. It's like, wait a minute. Why didn't y'all talk about that at the beginning? Yeah. If y'all had talked about that at the beginning, your relationship would be much better.
Yeah.
But to me, it sounds like when you're opening it up, you're bored in your relationship. That's why you want to open up. But once again, try not to.
I've been open since we started. I started dating mine. It's been a thing.
So like I said, any man who is certified, who is certifiably crazy enough to wanna like, you know what, Joel, I want to be with you. What? Are you sure? Do you know what you're getting into? I hate to say it, I'm completely monogamous. I mean, I figure I can date anybody I want to. Why would I want to get in a relationship and then still date? That's too much. Dating is already too much work.
There's a difference between dating and hooking up.
Yeah.
With people.
And we became bitchy at some point, I think. We know what we want to do, and then sometimes having someone next to you is like, you know what, I feel like doing this, and I feel like you don't like it, so I don't know what we're together. So.
Yeah, exactly. So we're gonna finish up the first half hour of the show, and we are gonna take a little bit of a break, and we will be right back. Woo-hoo. Oh, y'all want to hear this?
What?
Okay, this is.
Tell me.
Okay, this is.
Tell us.
Okay, our ad break. Here we go.
Houston's hot mess of a podcast.
And we are back.
Welcome back.
We're back with Fernando Videa. I'm pronouncing that right?
You're totally 100%.
Okay, yes. I'm making sure.
He's like, no.
Yes. He's
no,
like,
he's right. No, he's right.
No.
He said it right. Americans said it Videa. And I'm like, no, it's not Videa. It's Videa.
Videa.
Try to say it right, in the same way I'm trying to say right the things in English,
Yeah, exactly. So,
suck it up.
Match me on my level.
Yeah. You got some fire going on there. Calm it down there. Bring it down about 2 notches.
50-50, right? I mean,
yeah, it's true. It's true. You really should try it. There are a lot of people who. I still don't get why. I guess it's a Texas thing, because I don't know how many times I have to tell people, no, it's Joel. It's Joel. It's not Joel. It's Joel.
Joel.
Everybody in Florida's name is Joel. So when I started calling you Joel, I was like, Joel? Joel?
Yeah.
Now I have the hang of it because I said it so much, but I would always call him Joel. I'm like, you're like, it's not the same thing.
When Spanish men say Joel, I'm down with that. I'm okay. because it
You're
sounds
like, I'm all
sexy.
ears.
I'm all ears. My ears perk up. And
Joel, ¿cómo estás?
Oh, stop it.
¿La estás pasando bien esta
Okay,
noche?
you know what? That's enough. That's enough. Okay, because I'm gonna have to stand up here sooner or later, and I'm not gonna be.
Or something else gonna stand up and flip the table. Right?
I hear it's like a crash on the podcast.
Yes,
like,
exactly. Well, Joel got excited, and the table.
So sad we cannot see that because we're across the Just kidding.
Is that the other microphone, or are you just happy to see it?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, good lord. That's not a microphone. That's a boom mic right there. I'm not bragging. You know, I'm not bragging. Okay, I don't want anybody. You know, that stereotype about black men is only 75% true. 55% true. And they're looking at me again. 35% true.
No, I don't know. I thought there was a joke coming. I was waiting for the punchline.
35% true. So here we go. We're back with Fernando Videa, and you know, we're talking about art, and you said something. I want to hear all the stuff that you do.
I mentioned a little bit of ballet,
performance art.
Performers art. Wow,
performance
amazing.
art. Now we're okay. You know, you told us to ask you that. Don't get mad at us.
I didn't tell you anything. Okay. How funny. No, thank you for watching all those pictures you saw on my Instagram. So that's why you're asking all these curiosities you got about me. I went with a friend of mine to do a little audition for the Inner City in Houston Ballet, I think, to be part of the Nutcracker. So anyway, I was taking dance classes, and I took some outside of the painting classes. I also took some acting classes to see if I was shy or if I was like scared of being around people. Ended up that I'm not scared. I can look like shy a little bit because sometimes I don't know how to get into people. But anyway, so yeah, I did the Inner City in Houston Ballet. We were dancing at the...
How long ago was this?
That was like 4 years ago. It was in December. At the, what's the name of this... Memorial something, the stadium that is outside where people can see shows for free.
Oh, Miller Outdoors.
Miller Outdoors. I have a really bad memory. I'm sorry, guys, that you're listening at home.
I don't know anything from Houston.
So,
wait, you know what? You just tell me to go to places. I go to places. I know how to get there, but ask me names. I have no idea.
So when did I mean ballet? Did you learn ballet earlier? As a youngster, or
I took classes, but I didn't have to play a ballet part. It was more like contemporary.
Okay.
It was more like the party scene, and then that was it pretty much. But you know, the most cool thing is like the director of the show, when we were rehearsal later on through the week in the Grand Opera House in Galveston. We were rehearsal in the morning one Saturday. The director said, "Everybody comes here. I want to all of you dance like Fernando." Like he stand up straight, he look at his wife like really cool, smiling and all that. So I felt like my partner and we felt like so happy. I'm like, oh my god, they watch us, they're really watching us, like the thing we're doing. So I did that, and later on, still talking about performance art, I met this guy from New York City who came to Houston for experimental action. Like 5 years ago.
What is that? What is
experimental action? Is a group of people who does performance art here in Houston, and it's like underground kind of artwork that is not really well known all over, which it should be, you know. So this guy came to be part of the performance art. I reached out to him. He reached out to me, back and forward. He was telling me he has this piece where someone is gonna be tied up naked in a see-through outfit, throwing on an air mattress. So I have to know that person and get to know you in order to interpret something, right? So he broke up with his partner in New York, and he was living in this shitty apartment in Brooklyn and sleeping in an air mattress. So that's how he came with this idea. So I felt a connection with him. With this pain, you know, because I've been going through in my early 20s. I went through that. So I did that part, and I had a boyfriend at the time, which was very supportive. and very cool. I think it was one of the most amazing boyfriends I ever had. And right now we're friends. Anyway, so I took the day off from my regular job, and then I meditate, I chill out, I went to work out, I slept. I woke up like in a trance. I went to the place because it was a Notsuo bar here, and there was a lot of people watching you. I walk in there completely naked, in the see-through outfit, tied up, and the guy threw me in bed, and he said, "Don't move." And then I was representing his pain. So that's one of the cool things I think I did. And everybody walking in, touching my ass, putting hands into places that they shouldn't be putting in. But that's part of performance art. You open yourself and your body, your soul, to people do whatever they want. Because as human beings do, they hurt you if you let them do it, you know. So there's Marina Abramovich, which is a good example of that in one of her pieces in the early 1970s.
Okay.
So later on, I was working with experimental action, and I came with my own idea with a performance part called it painting from the soul. So I put all these canvases on the wall in a dark room and music to meditate, and I had people blindfolded walking into the room. And I put music, like chill out music, for them to paint whatever they see and how they feel. And I told them, this is an experiment for you to see with your brain. That's why I cover your eyes, because you can see with your brain, not using your eyes. You know. And then that was a very good experiment, and people liked it. I had a lot of good feedbacks from the people. They really loved what I was doing. They say, I never painted it blindfolded. Oh my God, I should try this at home. And do it. I have pictures also on my Instagram. And then, that's what I've been doing as performance art. I'm still looking for places here in Houston who let me perform my pieces from a few years back that I was working with, just call it Double Identity, which is the red noses that I was using as cover. The pain that we go through, because a clown goes on stage and it entertain you and make funny jokes, but you don't know the real life of that guy. You don't know what the guy is going through. That's why I copy the feeling of you don't know what I'm going through.
Kind of like from the opera. It's I know I'm getting it wrong. Pagliocci, the sad clown from from Italian opera. So so I definitely get the idea of the clown as a persona of happiness on the outside, but on the inside there's inner turmoil and pain. And I even wrote the story. It was a clown from the Renaissance time who died in Amsterdam, and he was shipped his body and his paintings to Houston, and then by the time that people go see the exhibition, I wanted to make it so dark that people go see, know the exhibition, the funeral of the actual clown. That reminds me of when the last time I was in Rome, Italy. I was in Venice, sorry. I was in Venice, and I saw the mummy body of this virgin, the Virgin of the Eyes. Santa Lucia, the Virgin Santa Lucia, I think she's the Virgin of the Eyes. And then I'm like, okay, I'm going to do a performance art, me as a dead clown, meaning nobody knew who I was. Everybody knew I was a clown, but nobody knew what I was suffering from. That's why I was painting the red noses. Finally, I'm done with that concept. I'm done with it until another gallery is willing to put all the clowns. But Americans are getting very scary about clowns. I have no idea why. It's become a horror movie trope as of late. I think we talked about this last night.
Can I get into something before we get
Yeah, go ahead.
So that whole thing with the clown triggered me right now, because it's such a thing. Unless you work with performance art, you don't know the true meaning of like entertaining people, then going home and like just being like a regular person. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because like people are always like, "Oh, you're doing good," and then like when I go home, I just like want to be away from people, or like even if I'm at a drag, like I don't really like to talk to people. And people still like talk to me like all this stuff, and I'm just like,
it's because you put it like in another persona like that through you out there, and you're like actually naked. Even if you're in drag and all dressed up, I think like you're actually naked.
Yeah,
You're like
absolutely.
vulnerable to people.
Very that. Yeah. People come up to you regardless.
Yeah.
Yeah, but when you're in drag, it's a different persona. It's not your persona. When you become Charlotte Shotguns, that is a different persona as from Scott. You are no longer Scott. You are now Charlotte. And then as soon as the makeup comes off, you go back to being Scott. And Scott has a different idea of how he wants to do things. So I think that when it comes to performance like that, drag performance or any kind of performance like that, where you become a character, you basically have a double identity.
Yeah, it is. And
It's a double
just, like,
identity.
even
You're-
like when you said when you step out of the picture, when the clown steps out of the picture, like
Mm-hmm.
it's a completely different perspective on life as in when they're in the frame. If that makes sense.
And it's funny because, you know what? It's really funny. Like 3 years ago, Halloween,
Yeah.
at Eagle Bar, I walk in there, and it was crowded. You guys know how crowded it gets outside. They close the street and everything. So I'm walking into Eagle, and I see this guy dressed up like a clown with a clown makeup sitting on the corner of the first steps. And the first thing that popped to my head is like, this is a real clown. This is a real performer. You know how I checked that out really fast? Because his makeup was really professional. It wasn't the cheesy makeup from Walmart or Target,
Yeah,
anywhere, you name
exactly.
it. And I told him, hey, are you an actor? And he said, yeah, I'm a clown. I'm an original clown. And then I'm like, oh my God. And I start opening my mouth and telling him about my exhibitions and my paintings and the projects I have going on. So we became friends, and we're friends on Instagram. We've been trying to still reach out, have coffee, but he travels a lot. He's really professional. He's a comedian, really serious about his job, and then he loves entertaining people. And I was like, oh my God, I just want to date that guy just because he's a clown.
Me
Yeah,
too.
right.
I find that so
Like,
attractive.
I do too. That is weird. I thought I was the only one, but I actually find clowns.
I
Sexy
I
of
always
some.
tell people like when they're like, oh, what are you? What kind of drag persona? I'm like, I'm a clown. Like literally, it is like I am a fucking clown. Like what I do.
You
It's
know,
like,
Fernando, I was thinking to myself, I'm either going to really like this guy or I'm going to hate this guy. And oh my God, we have so much in common. Who knew? Clowns. I mean, I have never shared that with anybody, by the way. So it's like when I heard it, when I hear you say it, and I'm like,
I will have to make a painting for you now. Now it's going to be free.
okay.
Like from the bottom of my heart for
Finally-
you to hang in here. in your
Finally,
studio.
I've had artists on the show, and I'm like, why are my walls bare?
you guys today. He
Why-
always says
why am
every
I-
episode. He fucking says that like.
Why are my walls bare?
Like how many artists have we had here? No one has given me like.
No
No, you
one-
have to pay for it.
I mean, I don't mind paying for it. At least offer it to.
I was like, I'll give you some of my makeup wipes at the end of the night.
Oh, good Lord. Why am I will pay for it. Well, within reason, because y'all are expensive sometimes. y'all are pretty, but the time and effort, a lot of people seem to fail to forget this. The time and effort that it goes into, the heart and soul that it goes into putting a work together, a piece together. It's not easy. You don't just get a couple of markers, draw something, and call it a day.
Yeah.
Anybody can do that. A 5-year-old could do that.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is that when you're an artist, it's a different level. It's a different world. So
Yeah.
So when I look at pieces and this piece is $1,500. I see why, because I can look at the piece and see all the work and effort and tears and how long it might have taken this artist to do this work.
I understand. Like for me, So for me, I would always buy like really like cheap underwear and stuff like that. Now that I make it, I'm like, okay, like I look at the stuff and like I really look at the stuff. I'm like, okay, this is worth the money. And also like underwear is a lot of work. Making underwear is fucking hard, and it's so time consuming. There's so many little pieces, and if you do one cut wrong, then the whole thing is ruined.
And everybody wants everything for free, right? And
Yeah,
everything's
exactly.
cheap. And I see your stories, but it's because the story lasts like a few seconds. But I see like you're doing something and boom, and it appears like really, really fast, really easy. But I'm sure you take a lot of time. Because I have a friend who is a fashion designer, and he takes weeks like doing that too.
Yeah, and people are like, "Oh, can I have some underwear for free?" I was like, if I had $1 every time someone, well, maybe if I had $5 every time someone has asked me for free shit.
Where's my free underwear?
I know.
Hey, he doesn't even give me free underwear.
You know
and
what?
I'm his
You know what?
co-host.
I'll buy something from you, but probably we'll have to have something like, I don't know. You do whatever you want, and I'll wear it, and I'll go out naked wearing it with your name on it. Just put your name on it.
I'm gonna start plug-in. I'm having a new collection that I'm doing. I'll give a little hint. Okay, I'll just tell you. It's cows. It's cow print.
Oh, is it cow
Cow
print?
print with pink. It's gonna be so stupid but so cute.
Stupid and cute.
Stupid and cute. I like
That's
that.
literally, or else.
That's good. I like that.
I've never seen anyone with cow print underwear.
I'll wear it.
Like a whole harness, cow print, like everything
Now-
cow print.
Now, I joke with him about, because I'm not really a jockstrap guy. So I'm not really.
That's why I'm trying to expand to different things.
So I'm like, the first pair of underwear you do though. Let's take a look because I might want to.
What, like briefs or like boxers?
Briefs, boxer briefs.
I already make. Okay, I'm in the process. I got. That's what I got today.
I mean, I think I can wear. I kind of have a slight dad bod. I think I might be able to get away with briefs, but they have to be like, I mean, they have to be sexy because I'm not really a briefs person, but I like boxer briefs. And that kind of thing, because I feel like, kind of goes with my body type.
Yeah.
So, so I try to keep, if I'm going to walk around for a dude and I got a little bit of a pooch, I want it to look good. I want the underwear to look good.
Yeah.
So, so he's like, I want some of that. And I'm like, yeah, you can have some of this, Daddy. It's fine.
And the designer has the magic to transform how a piece looks in people's body, different shapes of body.
That's what I do. Yeah, I always tell people like just measure your waist. And
I'm excited. I want to wear something from you because I've seen your stories. But yeah,
my cousin bought some, and my cousin loves them. And my cousin, and he'll understand this, my cousin's a big gal, and he's like, Joel, they lift and separate. I'm like, I don't know what that means. And it's the funniest statement I have ever heard. He goes, Joel, I put these on, and they lift and separate. And I'm like, what you doing, girl?
Like, what are these underwear?
Yeah,
I catered to, like, for me, the reason why I started doing it is because I wanted underwear that would fit men, like big men.
Yeah.
Like, right now, I am working on probably the biggest underwear where his waist in inches is over 80 inches. That's a lot.
That's a lot.
I like to wear like stockings and fishnets.
Yeah.
So maybe you can do something for me special. I'll wear it. Because I like to wear my black boots, the fishnets, and the little like panty or jockstrap, whatever you call it, and a harness sometimes, smoky eyes, and go out feel like a rock star and get drunk. Yeah, that's my thing. That's what I do.
But
yes.
you 30, you can do that. I can't do. I wish I could still do that.
You can do it.
I'm not.
Yes, you can. You just have to have balls to do it and go enjoy and free yourself out there.
Oh no, I have balls to do other stuff. I'm just not doing that. I have plenty of balls to do other stuff.
What happens sometimes you need the right people to push you to do it. Put like little poison on it.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Spell on
I'm
you.
afraid of y'all sometimes. Y'all gonna make me do some stuff.
Oh, you'll be amazed at the kind of people we run into Ripcord, right?
Yeah,
Ain't nobody judge them.
You know what?
Open-minded.
But Ripcord is the exception to the rule. You literally can walk in there looking like anything in Ripcord, and you'll work.
I love that freedom. I love to see people like
The
that.
other day I wore a long sleeve shirt there, and one of the people was like, "Why are you wearing so much clothes?" I'm like, what the
I know, right? It's like, oh my god,
They're like, usually like
you are overdressed. I'm like, I'm wearing jeans and a shirt. What do you mean overdressed?
I'm over here wearing like a shirt barely hanging on.
Let's fight for not be conservative anymore.
Exactly. So, I'm like I said, y'all. I mean, this is why I enjoy doing the podcast, because it has made me push boundaries that I've never pushed before, or I said, oh, I'm too old for that. I'm not doing that, and then here I am doing that, and I'm like, and then I have to tell my friends, I'm like, guess what I did last week, bitch? You too old for all that shit. Why you doing that shit? Because it was fun.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was free. The first time I ever went to a nude beach, and the first time I went to a nude beach was disappointing. You know what happened? I wore a bikini the entire time because I would not get naked. Oh. Because I would not allow myself to be free.
Were you by yourself?
No, I was with friends.
Oh,
yeah, and they wouldn't. I wouldn't allow myself to be free, and I was younger. So like Fernando said, just get out there and do it.
How old were you?
At the time, I think it was 30, 32. 32, 30.
That's
no,
not younger.
Yeah, 32, 33.
Yeah, I mean,
Girl, I'm 53.
you just
That's
maybe you were hanging
I
out
would
with
have
that.
been to
I
the
don't know.
nude beach a few times.
And I saw the
I usually
older
go with my partner.
and I saw the older men who were running free. Everything was running free. I mean, literally everything. I mean, their bodies. Everything was running free.
Maybe those people come from other places, you know, and
No.
their
These
education
are,
mentality.
No, these are
is totally
no.
different.
These are
Well, I think once you do it,
when you go to
feeling of
Austin or you go to
liberation.
Hippie Hollow or when you go to
Oh, I cannot
Galveston
wait.
or when you go to Galveston.
We'll
Well,
also go
not
together.
Galveston, but on the other island, Bolivar Peninsula, at the end of the island, they have the nude beach at the end of the
Is it
island.
nude beach? I didn't know.
Yeah, they have a new beach. And, yeah, and you see the gentlemen just,
Who's the new bitch?
you see the gentlemen of certain ages just walking around, everything just flapping in the
It's
wind.
nice.
And I'm like,
I
Freedom.
just watched this
freedom.
scary
Love it,
movie
yeah.
about people at a nude beach.
but at,
Free noodles.
but at the time, I was not particularly happy with my body.
Yeah.
I'm actually happy with my body like now because not everything's not sagging just yet. I mean, I still got some lift.
And I see
So I'm
you
doing-
still look like you have energy. You can
Yeah.
go work out and
I didn't know
everything.
you were 50. I thought you were younger.
So yeah, so
You know what they say, black don't crack, right?
Yeah, exactly. It sags sometimes, but it don't crack.
I'm black inside. I'm black. I'm very black inside. I can look like white skin outside, but I'm very black inside. Yes.
You probably just need some black inside though.
I had it before.
Everybody.
I had it before, and
everybody
I'm not
says
amazed.
that.
I'm good too. You know, I'm a good size, and I also can rock it.
Okay. Well, that's also good to hear too.
You know, because Latinos are very like savages in bed, like
They are.
yeah,
I've been told. I'm like,
very passionate, very aggressive.
I'm not going to be able to get up from this chair if y'all keep talking like that.
We're open-minded. Don't worry.
I'm literally sitting here with two very handsome
legs
Latin men.
His legs are crossed.
I know. Two very handsome Latin men. My jeans are already tight enough.
You're missing the poppers right there, so the show can get
No,
right.
we talked about this. We do not like poppers. We don't need. We have enough energy. We don't need. First of all, we have enough energy. We don't need poppers.
Oh yeah. I don't need.
And
Poppers.
secondly, I don't.
It was just a joke.
And pop.
As he's putting his poppers away.
Yeah, exactly.
My poppers. It's funny because I run into a guy at the club all the time who I know him for so many years, and he's always like poppers. He seems like a commercial to me. So
Yeah,
every time I
exactly.
crack myself
I
up.
have a few friends that are like
I don't feel that attractive.
Mhm.
I need to be in bed, like making love to someone to sniff some of the thing.
You know what I hate?
I think back before we had this whole lockdown and you'd be dancing at the club, I wouldn't mind poppers. But now it's just like, I don't know, I'm not trying to breathe all this contaminated air.
Yeah,
now.
exactly.
And the
But
headache that you get, right?
The headache,
Like,
yeah,
and
I
the
think it's
headache. Oh, the
Depending on
headache
which one you
is
get, because
so-
sometimes it comes and then sometimes it's totally unexpected and it just stays
The
there.
headache always happens 20 minutes after. Every time, 20 minutes after I even sniff, even just a little bit of poppers, and I'm like, keep that shit away from me. I do not want it.
The other day at Ripcord, somebody had, the giant popper things?
Oh yeah.
And it dropped and it broke on the carpet.
Oh my god.
So everybody was coming in and was like,
Everybody
oh.
was getting highlights. This movie, call it a perfume, story of a murder. Have you seen it? That he
Yes.
dropped the last perfume and everybody started having sex with each other in the village, and then everybody's totally naked. It was
What is
crazy.
this? What is it?
Perfume.
Perfume, story of a murder. It's from a book. Really amazing movie.
It's
Yeah.
an amazing movie.
I have to
It's
watch
pretty
it.
violent, but it's a good movie.
Oh, I'll have to watch.
Yeah, it's a really good movie. I happened to catch it. I think I caught it on Netflix. Was it on that?
I don't think it's on Netflix because it's an
No,
independent
it
film,
was-
and you have to pay for it now.
No. It was on Netflix for a little bit because I remember watching it on. I remember watching it on one of the things that I have. I have so many.
Let's tell these guys that is listening to us right now that they can look it up on Netflix to see and give us like
Well,
a
I don't think
text
it-
message or something.
Yeah, I don't think it's on Netflix anymore. I think it was on Netflix last summer. Yeah, because I remember that they were talking. Because I watched the videos. I watch a lot of YouTube videos. I mean, I watch a lot of YouTube videos.
Yeah.
So it was in a top 10 of some of the best movies to watch on Netflix.
Okay.
And so when I saw it on that, I went, "Oh, I have to watch this movie because it seems interesting." It was
What did you say it was called? Story of what?
Perfume, Story of a Murderer.
Yeah. Oh, you said it perfect.
So, yeah, it got a lot of great reviews, and
It's
I'm like,
really
I need
good.
to watch this movie to find out what this is about. So it's, like I said, it's really good.
Movies, European films.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I don't think it's on here on Netflix anymore.
No, it's not on Netflix anymore. You might be able to find it somewhere else.
I would have.
Hulu or Prime Video.
Prime Video. You might,
but you have to pay for it. 'cause
yeah,
I
you might
just
have
watch
to pay
it
for
again.
it. I don't think
third
it's going to
time.
be too. It's not super expensive on
No, it's
Prime.
probably like
$3.
$10.
Yeah.
No, it's $3.
Yeah, it's like
$3
$3.
last time.
Mm-hmm. So we've made it an hour, and we are going to take a little bit of a break, and we are going to be right back, and I want to play the ad break because I like playing the ad break. Here we go.
Houston's hot mess of a podcast.
There we go. And we are back. We're back with Fernando. You know what? I've had wine.
What? One boner?
Yes. So we're back with Fernando, and this is the last hour of the show. So we're gonna half hour. Sorry, not last hour, but half hour of the show. So we're gonna finish it out with Fernando, really going into his art. Now you have a lot of artwork on your your Instagram page. Are they in like? Do you divide them into series? Do you just paint when the inspiration comes? How do you paint when it comes to? Like I said, there's so much artwork, and it's amazing artwork, and it varies.
Yeah.
And it feels like it varies from mood to mood, and it feels like that certain pieces seem to go together here and there, and that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. So why don't you tell us a little bit more about that?
Okay. At first, I have to come up with a concept.
Mm-hmm.
And then I start working like in 10 or 20 pieces of the same concept.
Mm-hmm.
Right now, I'm working with my childhood, and I wanted to make it fun, no dark. Like people was telling me, like, your art is so dark. It's not dark. We can look up at Ken Curry artwork. It's really creepy, super creepy. That I think I won't be able to hang one of his artwork in my house because it will scare the crap out of me. But I have to work with concepts, and right now I'm going back to my childhood. Like the first one I did is 2021. It's called La Casa del Pasaje and Mickey Mouse, you know? That's the house where I grew up. But I'm going to keep playing with Mickey and some childish stuff. But also I did another painting which is about religion. I'm going to start playing with religion. What happened to the Virgin Maria and why Jesus Christ is yelling at her, and something twisted. Something twisted will come out. Because cool. You as an artist, you as an artist have to reinvent yourself in order to keep the audience entertained. And there's always a philosophy behind every piece that I do. I just don't do it like a dumbass per se, without insulting anybody. You know, I have to go deep into my thoughts to do it. That's why I look like I'm high all the time, but I'm not high. I think I'm born high already.
That's born high.
I don't. You don't look like you're high. You look like you're up to something. You always look like
that too. Up to something. Yeah, I'm always thinking about something. And sometimes got me in trouble.
Yeah,
oh my god!
You have this look, and I've noticed this every now and then, where it looks like I'm like, what is he up to? He looks like he's up to. He looks like he's up to some kind of mischief. What kind of mischief is he up to?
Thank you. It's been a pleasure to be here, like talking to all of you, sharing experience about gay life. I'm glad to be in this platform with this microphone, where everybody can hear about how we are as a gay community together, what we do, not just being gays, not just having the word in top of our forehead by the way we talk, but the way we body language.
I think, and I think, like I said, I think that one of my goals with the show is to break down what I've considered the monolith of gay culture in Houston, is that everybody seems to think that all the gays in Houston seem to think that there's just one box where all the gays fit in one box. Yeah. And we need to break that down, because I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in the gay community in Houston when it comes to dealing with each other a lot, because we have this perception of, oh, this queen is this and this queen is that and blah, 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 and all the judgments and all the harshness that goes with it, and all the sexism and racism and all the stuff that goes with that. So we need, and I love the fact that I'm inspired by watching the younger people really sit down and have conversations when it comes to sexuality. You know, and this is weird to say. You know, it was when I was growing up. It was gay, bi, or straight. I mean, and bi barely was on the table at the time.
I think bi just was more,
bi was barely on the table.
I think it was more bi was just not accepted as much.
Yeah, exactly. And it's
because the gays were trying to do their own thing, and the straights.
Now we have transgender, non-binary, and queer, and
well, transgendered has always been around, but it's always been like an underground secret.
Yeah,
and they've managed to stay underground for way too long.
And it's sad because they're also part of our community. You know, absolutely. They're suffering from something else.
Yeah, exactly. And their suffering is our suffering. So we need to
support for all of them.
Yeah,
compassion. Welcome.
Exactly. And I'm not here to really educate straight people when it comes to. I really would love.
It's not like the thing that I get mad is when people are like, "Well, you should try to educate them." Like, no, I shouldn't. There's so many resources online.
Yeah, exactly.
There's so many books. There's so many articles that they should do if they want to know, learn. And like I'll be the first one to correct someone.
Yeah, exactly. And it's not my job to teach you about racism. That's your job to. You have so many resources.
Can I say something about that? Like, I didn't know about racist bullshit. With all the respect of our audience, until I moved to America, to be honest.
Yeah, it's different.
It's crazy. It's crazy all the story I've been watching. I'm not your Negro that is on crime, or I watch all the things that people go through in order to make their word known and their power and anything. To be evaluated like a human being, it's just
it's really crazy. And it's just like it's so gross how some people just like really think that's the way of life.
Exactly. Well, when you get used to being on top, you don't want the people on the bottom to come up and take over that spot. You don't want to share the top.
Like, Cheryl, you can stay up in your mountain.
You know what? That's why it feels great to be an artist and to slap people in their face with a white glove.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And speaking of artists, you have some stuff coming out. Don't forget to promote your.
Oh yeah, I have 2 paintings. Thank you, my friend. I have 2 paintings that got picked up by a gallery right here in West Alabama, which is 604 West Alabama Street.
I know the gallery.
And
what is the gallery called?
It's just like, I think it's like just a few blocks up the road near, not too far from St. Thomas. Am I correct?
No. It's like more like down close to the freeway.
Oh, on the other side of Montrose. Oh, okay. Okay.
It's by next to a cleaner store.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Dry cleaner, next to a dry cleaner.
Okay.
It's very colorful, the walls outside, so you wouldn't miss it.
Okay.
And they picked up 2, one from 2018, which is the clowns, and the 2021, which is the childhood thing with with my house and the Mickey Mouse, to see how the market react to that, you know?
Let's talk a little bit about the clowns, though, because I'm interested in that painting. Why do you think that they chose that?
The clown?
Well, was that something they chose, or is that something that you wanted to...
I present all my work, and then he decided to pick those 2 little ones just to taste the market. I think everybody has a different taste for art. Everybody have a different feeling with it. The ones that he picked up is something that I painted when I was feeling blind, even when I didn't even know where to go. And I painted this clown without eyes. So he picked up that one. So we'll see what.
So what do
happens.
You mean about painting blind? When you were feeling blind, what was going on?
I didn't know where I was going. I was feeling lost at the moment. I was really feeling lost and frustrated. So if you can analyze the brush strokes that I did on that painting, it was really fast. It took me like 10 minutes to do it.
Oh wow!
So it was done out of anger, frustration, maybe
just
a bit
feeling
of sorrow,
sad and lost, and not trying to complicate my life. It's a tiny 16 by 20 canvas.
What a wonderful thing to be able to take your emotions and express them on the outside for the rest of us to see. It's something that a lot of us envy, and it's just a pleasure when you can see it right in front of you. And I would like to just take 1 second to say that if there's something that you love, if you have if you're something that you're good at, you have a hobby. I think I've said this on past shows. Nobody has hobbies anymore. Nobody has something that takes them away from everyday life and allows them. And I'm not. By the way, let me make this quite clear. Fernando is a professional artist, so that's a different subject.
Thank you.
When Fernando puts his love into his art, it's done it's a professional thing.
And you know what? You must have to have a passion for what you do.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
nobody else will do it for you.
Yeah, exactly.
You have to suffer. If you choose to be an artist, is at the beginning will be the most sad probably career that you can choose, because you will go through a lot of struggles, depression. You're gonna cry. You're gonna feel lonely. You're gonna feel like nobody understands you. Nobody knows. Just like being gay again. But you have to build strong and keep studying, analyzing a bunch of shit, bunch of stuff. Analyze the market, how people behave, and to come out with a concept and create a concept and have something to educate people through your artwork.
Well, I love the fact that you're also seeing it as a business as well, and working in a medium that now has to keep up with technology from the internet and everything else, and this and that. So you're having, as an artist, to not only having to do your work, but to also be a little business savvy about how to get your work out there.
Yeah,
And so I think that's an important thing to. I think you as an artist, that's an important thing to tell other artists, that you also have to be savvy when it comes to marketing, when it comes to the brand that you are. Even though those words might say, ugh. Even though those words to an artist might be like, ugh, I just want to paint. I don't want to do that stuff. Right. But it's something that in the modern world, it's something that you have to do. And I think, especially over the summer with COVID, we've all had to learn how to adjust.
I think it was because of COVID. We all had to learn how to.
Yeah.
We all had to learn how to do hobbies.
Yeah, we all had to learn how to take what we love,
we had to learn how to take time off.
And a little bit of more human too.
Exactly.
Didn't have food or money.
But when it came to art, when it came to whether you are a drag queen who has made money from the clubs and now you can't make money from the clubs anymore.
You don't know the fuck how to make money.
So now you have to figure out how to make money on the internet too, whether you're doing OnlyFans, or whether you're doing art, or whether you're doing music, or what have you. Having to use the internet to be the bridge, because the internet became our thing for an entire summer.
Correct.
And we basically I spent an entire summer on the internet. I learned so much about the internet, it was ridiculous. And when it comes down to marketing and branding and all these buzzwords that we all hated before, but now they're now a part of our lives.
Yeah.
And I think that you as an artist have latched onto that and realized that if you are going to get your artwork out there, this is what you have to do, whether you want to do it or not. So I think it's important that your voice is heard, so that you can help other artists when it comes to that.
Yeah, you're right. No, and thanks to you too for giving us a platform to speak out, so everybody can hear us around the world.
Yeah, exactly. Because even though our numbers aren't super high, I know where we're being heard, and we are being heard. Not just in Houston.
It will get high.
Yeah, we're not heard in just Houston. We're heard in other countries as well. So
that's cool.
Yeah. So when I first started the show. That was the important thing, was to talk about Houston and talk about the gay community in Houston. And when you watch movies or television or everything else, it's Los Angeles or New York. Very, very little in between when it comes to a gay community. I feel like that when it comes to media, they feel like that gay people don't exist unless they live in Los Angeles or New York. And I think now it's time to kind of like open it up and realize that there's other places where we exist, and there has to be that, because people from most African countries who still can't get together and congregate together. Ghana last week tried to open up a center for gay people to hang out, and of course it was shut down immediately from an angry mob of religious zealots who did not want gays to have a place to congregate. I mean, just a simple place where they can congregate and just be with each other, and to that kind of thing. We have to understand that we have to be the voice to be able to help them to do that.
Absolutely.
So,
Definitely.
this show is normally super funny and fun, but
Your show is wonderful. Opens up to everybody.
yeah, exactly. So, I just want to say thank you, Fernando.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah, we still have 15 minutes, though. You still have a lot of time to promote your shit. You still have a lot of time to promote your stuff. I mean, I wish y'all, remind me, Fernando, I'm going to have to, because I need to get a picture for you so we can put you on our cover. Okay. So that when the episode comes out, the first thing they see is your picture. Okay. So send something interesting.
I'm honored, yeah.
Send something hot, Fernando. So that
I have
wait a
many hot
minute.
pictures. I don't have a problem with that, darling.
Wait a minute. Okay, hold on. Let me slow it down. Wait a minute now. Let me stop this. Okay. Tasteful and hot, because unfortunately the Facebook censors will not allow me to boost something if your dick is hanging out.
Oh my god.
We should create our own website then.
I know.
Right?
Only gays.
Yes. So, yeah, just something tasteful, something hot but tasteful that you can send so we can put it on the cover. So it'll be on the cover tomorrow night when you look for the show and you see you in doing something.
Okay. Perfect. Now you give me a challenge. I love it.
Okay. Although you can send additional pictures for just myself, and I'll be okay with it.
I think I'll do that too.
Like, might as well.
I love making my friends happy, you know.
I mean, because you did say, you know what, I also do well too. So don't get this fooled. Hot Latin lover who does well, yes. Let's go ahead and send those pictures, and I'll figure out which ones are for me and which ones are for the audience.
Okay. Perfect. That sounds great. Yeah, I don't have any problem with that. Yeah,
exactly.
I'll let you do whatever you decide, my friend.
Okay, that's way too loaded. Please, no more wine for you.
That's Red Bull.
Red Bull,
is that Red Bull? Okay.
Yeah, that's Red Bull.
Oh, I'm going to have a heart attack by the end of the night.
So Red Bull gives you wings.
I'm having such a good time. Thank you guys for inviting me so much. You don't have idea. This means a lot for me, from the bottom of my heart. Thank you for telling me about this and inviting me to your show. You too for opening the doors to your studio and to be here. It's just amazing. It feels great. You all should see art and follow artists because we have a different perspective about life.
Okay,
absolutely.
Do you have any other social media besides?
Tell us where we
only
can find
Instagram. I only work with Instagram right now. I love Instagram.
What's your Instagram handle?
My Instagram name?
Yeah.
It's Fernando Videa.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell us so that in case someone listening wants to follow you, how would they find you? Like, what is it?
No, it's just Fernando.
It's just my name, Fernando Videa.
Yeah, that's it.
It's like
it
if
only
you
took
type
me 2 seconds to find it.
it's like if you type video in English, but with letter A at the end instead of the O.
Okay.
Yeah.
Videa.
It's my name. Actually, my real name, my whole full name. Sorry, not my real name.
Okay, here we go.
It's Jose Fernando Videa Sagastume.
Oh, wow.
I have 2 names and 2 last names, but I like more Fernando Videa. Videa is from my father's side, and Fernando is from my mom. Choose the name.
My
a little bit of both.
Original. If we're gonna go like long names, my original name, my Mexican name before my parents gave me Scott was gonna be Jose. What is it? Jose Guadalupe Mejia Mosqueda Hernandez.
Wow.
And now
sounds very Italian, isn't it? I love it.
Yeah. Well,
I won't remember it.
So it's like so they just settled as Scott Mejia, Scott Omar Mejia, which is my middle name. But my parents were gonna call me that and then attach my dad's second last name, then my mom's last name. But then my parents were just trying to help me live in America without a struggle, so they gave me Scott. But could you imagine Jose Guadalupe Mejia Mosqueda Hernandez?
I think it's beautiful.
Yeah,
I think it's beautiful. I think if you were, I think in
I
Texas,
think you should use your real
you'd
name.
be
You
okay,
should, your
yeah.
true identity. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't think that they never called me that, but my mom told me the other day, and I was like, "Oh fuck, that's like a
Yeah.
5-part last name, a 5-part name."
Yeah. It's beautiful. You have a beautiful name, so I'll be proud of that. I like, and it sounds beautiful too.
It's not my real name though. That's just my. That was supposed to be my. If I was born in Mexico, that was gonna be my name. But like since I was born in America, they wanted me to have a easier name,
A traditional name.
Like
so
a white name, right?
Yeah.
Exactly. So it'll be easier for him to like
Yeah.
get jobs.
So
and do all
my
that
parents met at a restaurant, and that was their manager's name, Scott.
stuff. Yeah, a lot of immigrants will adopt.
Yeah,
English,
my sister's name
English
is
names.
Natalie, and she married someone with the last name Hatfield. So my sister's name is Natalie Hatfield. Like that's so fucking white.
I know. You know, the funny thing is that
I think people back in the days. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think people back in the days was trying to fit into.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I think
That's why
now-
they
yeah, I
trying.
think
I want
now.
my kid to fit into, so I'm gonna
Like-
change his name instead of Pedro. It's gonna be Michael. You know, yeah.
My sister is
Fucked
a
up,
good
right?
is a good person that did that because her daughter's name is Juliana, and then her son's name is Leandro. So she went back to like the traditional names.
The funny thing is that I worked with a family for a little bit. They were all from Honduras, and it was Kevin, Derek, and Susan. And I'm like, wait a minute. There's an actual Susan in your family?
Not a Susan. What if
Yes,
it
it was
what was it
Susan.
called? A Karen.
I know, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. So your sister's name is... By the way, they are all over 6'3".
Oh shit.
Derek, Kevin, and Susan are all over 6 feet. Susan is shorter. She's only 6'1".
That's still tall. That's taller
I'm
than
like,
me. That's taller than me.
wow. So when I met their sister, I mean, Derek is tall and skinny. He's 6'3". His brother is tall and very stout. He's 6'3". And their sister is 6'1", Susan. And I'm like, wow. I didn't realize they grew up so big in Honduras.
Yeah, that they do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Actually,
my dad
that-
is really tall. My mom is tall.
And we're so short, right? But you know what? What they say, the most creative people in this world, they're short.
That's not what I say.
I'm tall as fuck. I'm 6 foot, I think.
I always say that the shorter the man, the bigger the dick. So that's. Oh, you nearly hurt yourself with that.
I like hit the microphone and then it hit my ear. The noise. It was like a double.
Why? Yeah, I mean, I always wonder, like, why black people always is famous too for having a big dick.
I don't. Oh, that's.
Damn.
Okay,
like,
you know
I've
what?
seen things, dude, like
This is not-
super huge
This is not
on
the,
videos, not in the real life.
No, not in real life. No. I've seen, in videos. I'm like, God damn, that's too much.
Like a horse.
But when I see it in real life, I'm like, oh, we're normal.
I
Look
would
at that.
hook up with this guy. When I was younger, I would hook up with this guy that was the person that guards prison people, and he had a giant dick, and he was black, and I'm just like, I was scared every time.
I'm like, no, I don't. No. Most of the black guys I've been with, and by the way, before anybody writes to me, I'm black, so I can say this.
Okay, go ahead, my friend.
Most of the black guys I've been with have been only slightly above average, but they haven't been like hanging down to the knees, or I wouldn't even know what to do with that.
Yeah, right.
I wouldn't know what to do with that. I
You need
think.
2 bottles of poppers, probably.
Oh, I
You
would
have
need
to drink the poppers.
No, I would have to drink the
Oh, drink the
poppers with a lot of weed and some booze.
I just need to be
Imagine.
sedated.
Oh God,
Sedated.
I'll be fucked up, bro.
Sedated.
I would have to be passed out because I don't. No, I don't want.
Sedated.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
You know what's funny?
Completely
Like, this is very personal, but, I'm very open-minded, very kind of open-minded person. Every time I had, like, a hookup once in every other moon, I always ask them, is my dick big or small? Because I always want to hear the true story. And they always say that it's big. And I'm like, for me, I think it's small, but they think it's big, and they cannot handle it.
Every man thinks their dick is small. Every man I know thinks their dick is
Too
small.
much porn, probably, watching.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, because they
realistically,
them.
we're trying to compare ourselves to
Yes.
someone with 12
yeah.
inches.
And by the way, when it comes to porn, most people don't seem to realize these are dicks that they pick I mean, if you
send them a picture.
these are
No,
dicks
so
that they
most of these
pick.
people that do like porn are like really small, so
Yeah,
their stature just looks.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, so
I have like friends that do porn and they're all like 5 foot, but then with their
aren't
like,
they
dicks
usually
out there.
bottoms though?
Yeah, they're the bottoms.
They're the
probably,
bottoms, aren't
They're
they?
the bottoms.
The smaller ones?
The ones.
They use the butthole.
No, well the shorter ones like they just look like they have bigger dicks because their body proportions are smaller.
Yeah, because 7 inches looks different on someone who's 5'3"
As
as opposed
opposed to,
to someone 6'3".
Yeah.
So I literally had to explain this to a bunch of heterosexual guys at a party one time because they were like, "So is a big dick important to you?" I'm like, "It depends on what." 8 inches looks different on someone who's 6'4" and someone who is 5'3". So it's still 8 inches, but there's no real. It's just the idea of the height.
It's really
Yeah.
true.
It just makes it look. When you're shorter, it just makes it look.
correct.
It's the same thing when you're skinny. When you're super skinny, it looks bigger, but when you're a little bit heavier, it looks a little smaller because
Yeah. No, I
they're-
get it, yeah.
except for those rare exceptions where yes, it's like, oh, good lord, oh, what you doing? Oh, okay. We're gonna have. That's a lot of preparation. Because I did tell this story. There was, we somehow devolve into dick, don't we?
Yeah, we just talked about it.
We just literally talked about.
I was like,
We are with an amazing artist, and here we are in the last few minutes of the show
Talking
talking
about
about dick.
it doesn't matter. I think that's why I'm a gay guy. You know, I'm an artist.
I mean,
too,
right? Yeah, we're all
I think
guys.
that's what we do too. We talk about dick when we're with gay people,
Yeah, exactly.
and then we talk about swallow and cum and shit like that.
Yeah,
Did you
exactly.
swallow? No, I don't like it. Ooh, I know that all that heavy stuff.
I'm still on the fence about that. I don't know how I feel about that.
Swallowing cum?
Yes, I'm still on the fence because I'm old school. Because with the AIDS epidemic and everything, we don't. It's and spit like being at the dentist. You gargle it a little and you spit.
Not gargle it a little.
Okay, you're terrible.
You gargle a little and you spit. That's it.
And you make bubbles with it.
You can
Can you imagine just one flying?
I know, right? Can you imagine doing it like chewing gum right after he came, and then you're
Like,
like
why is it
blowing
chewy?
bubbles? I've always wanted to do that as a practice.
Speaking of chewing gum, Speaking of chewing gum,
Yeah,
have
go
you
ahead.
watched the show Chewing Gum?
Yes.
Oh my god. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Everybody who is listening to us, they need to watch Chewing Gum. Period. Okay.
Is that
Keep
the one
going,
with
my
like the
friend.
drag
Sorry.
queens?
Huh?
Is that the one with the drag queens?
No, this is the English. It's an English show. You have to watch it. It's hilarious.
Okay, I'll watch it.
He's trying to
And
have
it's-
sex and
Yeah,
a lot of
it's
drama
about a
for
girl
her.
who's
Poor girl.
it's about a girl who's a virgin who's desperately trying to have sex and lose her virginity, but she has some wild adventures along the way trying to do it.
and
So-
religious family.
Yeah, I think you can still find it on Netflix. Just look it up.
I think
on
I've
Netflix.
seen it, yeah.
Yeah, but for the most part, yeah. So I don't. Once again, Fernando.
Yes.
we're almost done. So
Okay.
your show,
Okay, who's coming first?
your show. No, your show. We're
Jill
not
already
Oh,
came.
we're done.
We
Oh, okay.
can we please talk about your show?
Okay.
No more talking about your dick, my dick, or
Okay, well, the
mostly your
show
dick.
of the 2 exhibition of these paintings, 2018 and 2021, recent work, it's presenting on 604 West Alabama Street, March 6, 2021, this Saturday. Don't miss it.
What time
I'll be
is
there
it?
if you guys want to talk in person with me and get to know me better.
What
and
time
talk
is
about
it?
it. From 3 to 6 p.m. Thank you.
Okay, I'm not doing anything. I'll probably come.
3 to 6 p.m.
I'll be there. We can have some drinks and go celebrate. That's what we do. We celebrate life.
I'll be at work, unfortunately. So
Okay.
I won't.
Is it in like a gay safe area or no?
Yeah. It's
Okay,
right here,
okay.
West Alabama, close to Montrose. Yeah.
Okay.
You'll be fine.
Well, I don't know because I might come in drag because I have to go to work after.
Oh, I'll be there supporting you and helping you, and we may go together to the club. Don't worry.
Okay. So we just had a great time with Fernando. I'm sorry. Say your last name again, Fernando.
Fernando Videa.
Fernando Videa. I'm sorry. Jen has been involved.
Watermelon gin. I've never seen watermelon gin.
I know. I saw the
Was it
secrets.
good?
No, it was not.
Oh,
it was not.
It smelled good.
It smelled good, but it's got...
Seagrams is one of my favorites. Watermelon is one of my favorites.
Here's
gin
the thing.
Is
I wish they had infused the watermelon instead of adding a cheap watermelon liqueur to it.
Oh, that's what I was scared of.
Yeah, it was a cheap watermelon liqueur added to it. So, anywho, so Fernando Videa has been our guest. He is an artist extraordinaire here in Houston, Texas. He has a show this weekend from 3 to 6, 604 Alabama. Y'all need to come out and say hello to him.
3 to 6?
3 to 6 p.m., yeah.
3 to 6 p.m. He only has 2 works out, but can we buy, if someone went to your Instagram page and said, you know what, I love this, can I buy this?
Yeah, they can do it.
Yeah, okay. So,
and I also can give them a tour around my apartment.
Okay.
In my studio, yeah.
Okay. So I'm going to write down the address for myself so I can get a tour of his apartment. I'm sorry.
I actually will say
I'm sorry.
One of my favorite things to do is to go into artists' house and like see their artwork.
Mm-hmm.
My old professor, he would always invite me to his house, and I would always like look at his paintings, and his like living room and everything was like incredible because he had like no open space, no empty walls per se. And it was just pretty cool, and it's just like awesome seeing someone's like natural habitat. And
yeah, exactly. Where they work. The last most amazing sex I ever had was with an artist who had a lovely sculpture. He did all the sculpture work in the garden.
Wow!
Oh my God, he had such amazing sculptures in the garden, and we had sex out there several times.
Awesome!
Oh my God!
In the garden.
Oh my God!
I hooked up with this like guy that does like well, I don't want to say anything, but his artwork was everywhere. It was really cool because I was like, oh, this is fucking sickening.
Yeah, exactly. So
it's cool though. I hooked up with another artist too, and it does feel different though. It's kind of like
it's pretty cool because you're actually intrigued by it. You know, like if you just have someone random over there, just come and go.
Oh,
but it's just like from an artist to artist, you're just like, let me like look at your room and let me see everything.
But
literally.
Like, yeah, but isn't it like you know, I've had writer friends, and writer friends have always said the same thing: you don't date a fellow writer. Because writers just... Oh, yeah. You don't date a fellow writer.
Well, as far as, like, artists, like, I don't mind because, like, as long as we're not in the same, like... We're not fighting for the same spotlight.
Right.
But pretty much you are, so...
Well, I'm just saying, like...
I'm not trying to poo-poo on the whole thing.
Like, I mean, if I was to date a graffiti artist, that's not even in the same bracket.
Yeah, exactly. Or if I'm dating a sculptor and I'm into painting...
Yeah.
That's completely different...
Yeah.
2 completely different worlds, and I mean, the love making would probably be amazing because it wouldn't be sex; it would be love making. Art. I don't know what it is with artists and love making. It's all about the love making. It's the same thing,
but it's more meaningful for us.
Yeah. And it's passionate.
It's someone relatable.
Yeah, it's like passionate and it's passionate and it's hot and it's free. Oh my God, it's so free. I'm not going to be able to get out of this chair again. Well, thank you, Fernando, for being on the show.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you for inviting me.
We had a really great time doing this episode. Like I said, if we haven't told you by now where Fernando's going to be, good Lord, just go to his Instagram page. We literally just rewind literally like a minute and a few seconds ago, and you can hear it. If you want to hear the further adventures of Fernando and Joel, that's another episode.
That's on the Patreon.
It'll be on the Patreon or on OnlyFans.
Not OnlyFans.
It'll probably be on OnlyFans more than anything, and y'all have to pay $10.99 for that.
OnlyFans.com/That Little Gay Talk Show.
I love your laugh.
I know.
I think it's cute.
All right, so we are out of here, and you know what we're going to do for the first time?
Hold on, do we have to say anything before we go?
Nope.
Okay.
You know what I had to do for the first time? This
show is sponsored by Tubi's Woodworking. Tubi gives you wood. Also brought to you by Bitch Boy Undies. Get you a pair or else. You can follow the show on most social media at That Lil Gay Talk Show. Check out the website, thatlilgaytalks.com. Music and vocals by Jamie D of Diamond Cut Entertainment.
There we go. We are done.